How you doing, everybody? It's your health and fitness specialist, Kelly Brown, and today I'm back with another topic that's very close to my heart. Only because through the years of me training people and figuring out the best way to train myself and the way to be the most efficient as possible in my time being in the gym, rather than trying to stretch out my day in the gym working out for 4 to 5 hours, I've really tried to put together programs for myself and for others to consolidate the exercises that are most beneficial to what you can actually do in that time period in the gym. And there's one thing that I've come across that I realize that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about when you're researching information is exercise sequence. Okay, now certain exercises go before other exercises because certain muscle groups either need to have the main energy, the early intensity that you have when you come into the gym to be focused on those lagging areas, or B, certain muscle groups get warmed up by working other muscle groups. So I'll break that down and I'm going to explain to you why sequence is very important while you're working out. Okay, so let's take an example of legs, for example. Okay, so with legs, we have different body parts to our legs, or different parts to our legs, excuse me. So we got your quads, you got your tibialis anterior, which is your shins, you got your calves, you got your abductors, you have your adductors, you have your glutes, you have your hamstrings, all of those things. And sometimes you don't just want to go in the gym like, okay, today I'm just working legs. And you go in there and maybe through the idea of just working legs, you just hit, whatever. You just do quads first, or you just squat, or you just do hamstrings, or you just do calves. And now you're forgetting something. You're missing something while you're in there because it's hard to hit all of those 6 different pieces of your legs, So what you got to do is you sequence your exercises to hit the most beneficial, but you also have to break them down or schedule your exercises so that you can actually get the ones that you need the most done and trickle down to the one that you need the least, not the least, but just the one that you probably can't stand doing the most, or the one that you neglect the most. You want to do that in the beginning. So for example, if you were going to do legs, then you would do something like you walk in the gym, you warm up for 10 minutes on the treadmill or on the Stairmaster or something that's going to get blood flowing to that body part, which is your legs, right? And the next thing you're going to do is when you get to your first exercise, hopefully you wipe the equipment down because it's nasty because somebody was sitting on it first and you don't want somebody else's butt sweat mixed in with your butt sweat, and then it's just a disaster. Now you got a disease and all this other stuff. So what you want to do is wipe the machine down and try and do, like, let's say calves first. Because calves are a very neglected body part. People tend to skip those or do them whenever they feel like it, or it's like a last thought to do calves. And you don't want to save that for the end. You want to get it done first so that you can really abuse them the way they need to be. Or not abuse them, but to really work them the way they need to be worked. Because a lot of times you just kind of forget about them if you put them towards the end, or you'll do a full leg workout like, ooh, I'm too tired. And somebody says, well, let's do calves. And you'll be like, nah, we'll do that later. But you probably really needed calves. So what you want to do is put calves in the beginning, okay? Do your, you don't have to do a whole bunch of different types of machines, but maybe just do your calves early on. One machine, one exercise, maybe, I don't know. For me, I might do like 6 sets of 20 on something, on seated calf press or something like that. And then you move on, okay? And then the next thing you would do is your hamstrings. So you do your hamstrings. And now if you're gonna do like squatting or something like that, the reason why you wanna warm up your hamstrings and your quads first and your knees is because in order to squat, you're gonna have to have different body parts all activated. So let's activate them first by doing something like your hamstrings. And then we'll move on to, after hamstrings is done, we'll move on to maybe quads. And then after quads is finished, you can move on to something like a squat. Okay, because squat is going to use what's going to be your inner thighs, your outer thighs, and it's also going to use your glutes. Now, if you're not going to squat, then, okay, after you do your quads, you can do glutes by themselves, or you can do adductors by themselves, or abductors by themselves right after quads, if you're just doing leg presses, or you can do the abductors first, and then do quads last, because that's the biggest muscle group. So if we're doing a different exercise, let's say back, we're working a different body part. If you're working back, you will want to warm up with your pull-ups first, because your pull-ups are going to hit your biceps, they're going to hit your delts a little bit of triceps, your lats, they're going to hit all parts of your back, your forearms, and you just want to really knock it out. And then after you finish knocking out your pull-ups, getting all your body parts warmed up and getting ready for back day, then you will go do your forearms next. right? Because that's one that we always tend to neglect as well. So you go do your forearms. After your forearms are done, now you can do your whole back exercise. Now with your back, you're gonna end up using different things that are gonna, or using different pieces of equipment that are gonna activate your biceps. So if your biceps are getting activated, that's fine. Let's save your biceps for the end, because you're gonna need your biceps to actually do those back workouts. Now, if we do our biceps first, what's gonna happen when it's time to use your back or do back exercises? You're gonna be burnt out. You're not gonna be able to actually get the full contraction because your biceps are gonna be so fatigued from doing them prior to doing your back. So you will put your back first and then the biceps at the end, and nobody's gonna skip biceps, because we know that's one of those vanity body parts that you really want to look good anyway. So I'm sure you'll actually do your biceps. So it's okay to save those for the end. That's one of those show muscles. Okay, so let's say chest or something like that, right? Chest, I guess we all got that figured out. Chest, you do, just make sure you're doing your upper chest, your mid chest, your lower chest, and then you're fine. Triceps, same thing. Do your tricep exercises. It doesn't really matter the sequence when you're doing those two things, but maybe warming up your triceps first. If you do triceps and chest on the same day, maybe you do your triceps first to actually warm them up, just to get your elbows and some blood from your elbows and get them a little bit juiced up and lubricated and warmed up before you get ready to actually start pressing heavy, because if you do your research, you know that the presses a lot of times, or even like a punch, normally comes from the tricep, not necessarily from the chest. The chest doesn't do much but look good. But if you got triceps and strong arms, then it's gonna come from the triceps. So you wanna work those triceps out, or at least work them out at the end of the workout. And that's been one of my main problems, is my triceps. So I've been trying to really start targeting them more. I know when I was doing my men's physique competitions, I realized that when I saw certain guys who were on stage, they had the big shoulders, smaller biceps, smaller triceps, smaller forearms. So it kind of gave them that appearance of a wide lat look, And for me, I started just not working triceps. Now I'm back into that because I want to do poses that kind of reflect, if I'm going to get back on stage again, I want to do poses that reflect using the triceps. So just have that overall look of the arm. So anyway, at the end of your workouts, try to do your last stretches. If you find a stretch machine in your gym, do your stretches, or do your dynamic stretches or your static stretches. However you want to do them, you can break those down. If you want to do your static stretches at the end, your dynamic stretches in the beginning, your kicks and your swings and whatever else it is that's suitable for you. After you do your warm up, that's perfect. But just remember, sequence is very important. So when you're putting together your own workout program, just make sure that you're doing what needs to be done first, and then kind of trickling down and saying, okay, this is the order of importance. I'm going to do the thing I hate the most first so I can get it done, and with the most energy, rather than burn myself out and kind of try and save it for later. And then if I save it for later and I don't get it done, whatever. Okay, so make sure you're actually knocking those things out early on. Forearms, calves, whatever other body parts you got that are weak, triceps for me, or anything. So try and do those things first, and then trickle down to the big muscle groups later on, okay? Or in reverse, if you're doing back, you want to save your biceps for the end, because if you're doing too early, you'll burn out your biceps, and now you aren't going to be able to do pulls or any type of rowing exercise or even pull-ups or anything like that, okay? So anyway, I hope you've learned something. Again, my name is Kelly Brown, and feel free to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to comment below on any suggestions or any tips that you may have, because of course we're a community and other people are going to be watching this video. So share your tips as well too. I'm open to reading them, and maybe your tips will help somebody else if you leave them in the comments below. And also don't forget to subscribe and get your free ebook, your master food list. And if you get a chance, please check out my book. I would definitely appreciate it. Guidebook to Natural Bodybuilding, or How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off. Those are two great books that I put my heart and soul into, so please check them out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.